Hi, I'm Mark Boundy. Today I want to talk with you about how to make the relationships with your existing accounts more sticky and to grow those relationships. In a COVID economy, that is the way to grow. That is what you have to spend most of your attention on. It's harder than ever to get new accounts, but your existing accounts are something that you can grow, build, and at least make more defensible. Remember, I had a video a little while ago where we talked about the difference between the first time sale to a customer, where we talk about the funnel, where lots of opportunities come in, and then an individual opportunity with a customer comes out and we win. And then anything below here is after the sales. With our existing accounts, most of my clients are in businesses where they have a long-term relationship, where repeat sales are the norm. And so we think about this funnel as the left-hand part of this loop, where the customer is figuring out that they have a need, they're researching, they're selecting and buying. And now between sales, not after the sales, between sales, we're helping them implement, install, build, succeed, figure out how to expand and grow and what else they need from us. So now this here isn't the funnel, it is the second time around this infinity loop that we go on with our customer. So that's the kind of thought process we need to instill, especially at all times, but now especially during a COVID downturn economy. And there's a couple of mechanics that I want to talk about in terms of how we characterize that relationship and how successful we can be in getting there. So the first one is the what. And that is, how high are we able to sell within an existing customer? A lot of salespeople make that sale at the comfort level. You know, it might be the operators or the users or the lab manager that buys our piece of equipment or something like that. And so I call that selling at the comfort level. Now, that can be a great way to sell. And we try to get to the budget owner, but oftentimes we find ourselves blocked and from getting to that person. And we might get to talk to them once, but oftentimes we satisfy ourselves with training these people to talk to that budget owner because they won't talk to us. And we darn sure can't sell to that executive. But we know at some level that if I could only talk to the executive about what I do, everything here would become more defensible, right? Not so much right. Hold off on that. The way you get to that executive is by showing value. And there's a couple levels of value. I've seen this kind of broaden to 5, but I think 3 is all you really need. At that first level, we're transactional. The customer buys to a spec, we meet the spec. Maybe we exceed the spec a little bit in terms of delivery, but at the heart of it, we're kind of a transactional sale. Otherwise, we can be a valued business consultant and show this budget owner how his department works more successfully when they buy from us. So there's some recognized value. And finally, if there's so much value that we can demonstrate that this impacts the business, we're not selling you our stuff, we're growing your business using our stuff, you have a business impact with your customer. And so at this level, this is affecting issues and strategic direction that an executive is going to care about. And so instead of this 3x3 matrix, actually, it's really hard to sell to an executive if all you are is transactional. They don't want to talk to you. As a matter of fact, if you try to talk to an executive when you have this kind of value, you're going to get blackballed. The first time you try to talk to them, if they make the mistake of talking to you at all, you will never get a secondary conversation because you are probably talking about transactional speeds and feeds, features that they don't care about. You are on the blackball list, and you've done yourself harm because you will never be able to talk to that executive again. Conversely, if you have recognized value, you can pretty regularly get in to talk to that budget owner, but it probably doesn't affect. It's probably not something that's on the radar screen of an executive. So what I talk about is that the top corner of these blocks are kind of invisible. These are ways for you to get blackballed or to do yourselves harm if you try to talk. Now, I'm not going to say that happens 100% of the time, but anything up here in these kind of blocks that I've made invisible, that's a yellow light. If you can't recognize or show or sell the value that level inside your customer's organization cares about, there's a good chance you're going to be doing more harm than good. And if you think you're the exception to the rule, you better have a really well articulated plan for why you're that exception that you can get to that person and get them to buy off on very, very quickly. So here it is, right? We've got this two-dimensional matrix, but a lot of times when we're selling to a major account, we've sold successfully to the first business unit, to the first division, and now we want to replicate that success across business units. I want to grow the business. And so what I do is I apply this same thinking. So here it is, the strategy to get from business unit 1 to business unit 2 depends on where I sit on this matrix in the first business unit. If I am only selling transactionally to the transactional people, I might also have to treat this as an individual sale, because these people don't know each other, don't trust each other, and they definitely don't think each other has the same problems. If I am selling recognized value to the budget owner, these are going to be different people, but they might have relationships with each other, might know who they are. And you may choose business unit 2 depending on who this budget level person knows at different divisions elsewhere in the company. If you're selling to a strategic business impact and you have successfully merchandise that with an executive. Remember, sometimes you can have business impact and not have sold up. Now, that's a different kind of mistake than the mistake of selling up when you had no impact. If you have business impact and you haven't created these relationships and you haven't built the credibility that you could get an appointment with those folks, that's a mistake. But when you're successfully able to do that, imagine that oftentimes this is the same executive, or they're almost certainly know each other and work together relatively closely. So now your plan to get from business unit 1 to business unit 2 depends on where you are with that first business unit. And that strategy is colored by the relationships you have with who and what kind of value you've demonstrated at the incumbent layer when you're trying to go for the next and the next and the next. I hope this helped help you develop some thinking about your account relationships and your account management. I have whole courses and consulting practice around how to do this more successfully using business acumen, combining my business acumen course, and the whole works. So we can get you as much detail on this as you'd like. Again, I'm Mark Boundy. Contact me if you need any more information. I'm at mark@boundyconsulting.com. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you have a great day. Bye.